Welcome. Today we have the opportunity to tour this Eichler that is not in the same neighborhood that we usually tour in. We are not in Sunnyvale. We are not in Cupertino, and we are not in Fairhaven in the Willow Glen. We're not even in San Jose. We're all the way up in the East Bay in Walnut Creek, where we are in Rancho San Miguel, and we are exploring the Eichlers that are here. This particular model was built in 1953. I can't wait to show you inside. Come on, let's go. Right when we come in, we can see the great Eichler architecture. There is partially open concept in place, but it's also divided up into spaces. And the division is the private bedrooms are to one side, and then the public living spaces on the other side. We can see a great room, and we get a peek of a full wall of glass. It's really the best of California living. It is open concept, but we have a living room, a dining room, and a kitchen, and they're all very separate with definition. The first thing we notice is the kitchen has been redone, and let's start there. Eichler kitchens are typically in the heart of the home. This house was built in 1953, and it is an early adopter of the open concept kitchen. This is actually the start of opening up the kitchen to the rest of the house. We see that the hostess could actually partake in the entertaining and the cooking at the same time. It was a new model back then, but so far it's lasted about 75 years. The original features we see here are the globe lights and the cinder block partial wall. It provides definition between the areas, but it doesn't go all the way to the ceiling. It's interesting to note that Eichler started off as a budget eco-friendly builder, so you don't necessarily see the most expensive supplies being used, and that's illustrated right here with a cinder block wall. It's an architectural feature, and yet it's made out of humble materials. The partial wall allows the light through and allows a view of the post and beam construction. This dining room represents the ideal execution between the homeowner, the stager, and the real estate agent. The homeowners, all of them, have cared for these beautiful mahogany walls. And then the stager has come in and perfectly married the Danish teak modern furniture with what has already been mounted on the wall, and then the dining room table. The whole thing marries perfectly. Entertainer's dream meets indoor-outdoor living. Full wall of glass. This living area has a circular flow, and the centerpiece is this wood-burning fireplace. This is a rare feature now because it would be grandfathered in, and you can't build these anymore. The post and beam construction, the globe lights, the partial wall, the kitchen's in the heart of the home, the naked mahogany walls, and the breathtaking views out to the backyard. It's all here. This house just seems to have it all. Granted, I was visiting on probably the perfect weather day, but then again, we have those all the time. I love the juxtaposition of the curved lines of the landscaping outside and the different hardscape, softscape, and then also where that meets the hard lines of the house. If we go around the corner, we're going to move from the common living area into the private bedroom quarters. Down this hall, we have the primary suite. This includes a full wall of closets on the right-hand side, and it's hard to tell because you have mirrored doors. And they have left some naked paneling in there. And then we have the ensuite. So that includes the vanity on the outside and then the bathroom on the inside. It's interesting to see the way that they've redone this bathroom. They redid the shower with kind of a plainer finish on the walls, but then they put a seat and then they put the glass surround, so it makes it look quite a bit bigger. Then down the hall, out of the primary suite, we have one of the family bedrooms, and that does have windows out to the side yard. Then we come to this little kind of bend around the corridor, and here we have typical for Eichlers, we have a laundry station out in the hallway. This one, I'm sad to say, did not come with a skylight over it, which we see in a lot of the atrium models. This hall bath actually has been redone too, but they picked a different style to redo this one in. And then there's a front bedroom. Now this front bedroom is so light and bright, and it has floor to ceiling windows. And the interesting thing that I wanted to point out about that is that typically there are kind of side narrow lights in the front bedrooms, but no front facing windows in an Eichler. And this one has it in spades. There it is, top to bottom, left to right, a full wall of windows glass. Now, the bottom part is frosted, so that's worth noting. But I just felt like it was interesting to point that out in this one. We're gonna go look at the outside too. Then we come back to the front door and we're back to the kitchen. So this one has a circular flow. It's really nice. And here at the front door, we have clear story windows on the top and on the side. And then at the kitchen, we have another set of double windows. Now these ones only go to the counter height. So they go all the way to the ceiling, but start at the counter height. Whereas the ones in the bedroom start at the floor and go all the way to the ceiling. This Eichler is an early one, but from the front you can see that it actually has windows that look a little bit more like traditional windows. And it's funny because you can't quite tell from here, but on the lower part, that is actually frosted glass, and we see that inside. And then up above, good pleated shade, but that's clear glass above and frosted glass below. So we do have the effect of a full wall of windows from floor to ceiling on the inside. And from the outside, you can barely tell that the lower part is even glass. Like from here. I mean, you can see now that I pointed it out, but you really can't tell when you're just driving by. And this Eichler has the front door on the street, which again, that makes it not an atrium model. There's this little front, I mean, I guess you could call that a courtyard, but it's not really a courtyard. It's more just a lovely planting area, and it's been done so well. Even out here, there's these tiny little pebbles, but it's not actually a Japanese garden because you couldn't really rake a pattern in them there, just a little bit bigger than that. But the effect is just enchanting. All this stuff is modern, but established and drought tolerant. So I have every hope that the future owner could maintain it just like it is, and it wouldn't be too difficult. Out in the backyard, you can see the primary suite jutting out in the full wall of glass here. In the backyard, just bright blue skies, all that California has to offer. And there's a really nice mix between deck area, hardscape, and the backyard wraps all the way around. We're calling this the side yard, but it's huge. It's not just what the English people would call a tradesman's entrance. Then there's a wooden deck to the side. But the feature that I like the most is that we have hardscape, grass, and then kind of border bushes. So you have really the best of all possible worlds. And it's interesting out here that in the lawn and in the hardscape that there are curves, whereas in the house there are no curves. So they've really kind of given the yard a wave effect. There are beautiful mature trees providing shade out here all around, and all different types. I'm not sure what the side yard was built for, but it's very well done and has original paving patio stones. Straight through, out the door, through the kitchen, we get to the garage. And this garage has a lot to look at, amazingly enough. So first of all, they've replaced the door so that it's not side by side sliding kind of barn door operation. They've replaced it with a new one, but that does allow you the luxury to have the tracks and have a garage door opener and overhang. Then they've built this storage, and that storage comes down pretty far, so you're only going to be able to park a sports car. Then we have over here, we have, you know, a typical countertop and some cabinets up above. These are the original cabinets from the kitchen. And this might even be the original sink from the kitchen. And then here we're looking at some of these doors that were covered with kind of this grass cloth. Those are the original sliding doors that would have gone to either a hall closet or what have you. And then this cabinet with these little handles that you can just stick your finger into, those are also the original under sink cabinets. And that's the original, like, Eichlers were built with Formica. They were built, you know, cheap and cheerful with economical materials. So it's fun to see that they just put them out here. And clearly someone's done a lot of work out here. Here's even an original screen door. So it's just fun to see. So what do you think of this place? It's been really interesting to tour with you an Eichler that isn't in my normal South San Jose, Silicon Valley location. We see evidence of different architects and a little bit of a different style and some different takes here, like the cinder block brick wall in the kitchen and like the jutting out primary suite in the back. If you have any questions or you're looking for Eichlers or you want to know the different neighborhoods, or you're just an architecture fan, reach out. Let's have a conversation.